Honey, okay.
My wife, I'm not fine.
Nichani, what happened?
Remember that loan we got and the plans of buying land?
Yes, I remember. It's your time back to Mukenge. The issue has been running up and down for this while.
Money Evening News. Money Evening News. In your financial indicators today, Tuesday, 15th November 2022, the United States dollar is buying at 16 kwacha, 33 ngwe, and selling at 16 kwacha, 66 ngwe. The Great British Pound is buying at 19 kwacha, 24 ngwe, and selling at 19 kwacha, 60 ngwe. The euro is buying at 16 kwacha, 87 ngwe, and selling at 17 kwacha, 20 ngwe. The South African rand is buying at 94 ngwe and selling at 96 ngwe. Those are your financial indicators. The news headlines. Transport Minister discloses that rehabilitation of Samora Machel Airport has stalled due to outstanding balance of over 15 million kwacha.
Airport in Mbala stalled as a result of an outstanding balance amounting to 15,062,231.18
Green Economy and Environment Minister calls for action on the Green Growth Compact.
Green Growth Compact is a very, very good idea. There's been very little traction on it. So we need to see action. Indeed, COP26 was good.
Nigeria Air Peace suspends flights into Dubai over visa ban. Zambia takes on Colombia in final back-to-back friendly matches. Hello and welcome to the Money Evening News on Money FM. I am Best Jerry. Minister of Transport and Logistics has disclosed that rehabilitation of Samora Machel Airport in Mbala District, Northern Province, has stalled due to an outstanding balance of 15 million kwacha. Speaking in Parliament during the question for oral answer session, Frank Daly reveals that the contract sum of the project was 25,437,712 kwacha 73 ngwe, out of which government released 10,375,480 kwacha 93 ngwe to implement key works in order to facilitate civilian and commercial airline operations under phase 1 of the project. Mr. Tali explains that rehabilitation of the project stalled during the COVID-19 pandemic and the remaining works will be completed once the Treasury releases the outstanding 15,062,231 kwacha 80 ngwe. He says government is working towards bringing to life most of the airports in the country.
Project was 25,437,712.73 ngwe, of which 10,375,480.93 ngwe was released to implement key works to facilitate civilian and commercial airline operations at the airport under phase 1 of the rehabilitation of Mbala Airport. The outstanding works await release of funds by the Treasury and will be implemented over a period of time, as they are not in the critical path for the operations at the airport. The outstanding works will cost 15,062,231 kwacha and 18 ngwe. The outstanding works have been segmented and will be implemented over a period of time as resources are made available. Sufficient works have been done on the airport, and I think it is our position that once funds are made available, we have no problem continuing with the current contractor.
Mr. Tehali was responding to Mbala Member of Parliament in Javwa Simatowe, who wanted to know why the rehabilitation of the Samora Machel Airport in Mbala district has stalled, when the project will resume, what the cost of the outstanding works is, and what the time frame for the completion of the project is. Ministry of Water Development and Sanitation has called on cooperating partners to further promote the importance of sanitation in the country. Speaking during a sanitation panel discussion on Ministry's Assistant Director for Water Supply, Orlando Nyirende announced that the poor sanitation in some communities has been due to lack of proper water supply. Mr. Nyirende, however, reveals that the ministry, together with cooperating partners, has made some progress in enhancing sanitation by establishing water supply system in institutions such as schools, healthcare facilities, and markets. He adds that the ministry has also made significant strides in improving the rural and urban sanitation, although the efforts have not been adequate.
Cooperative partners to ensure that we reach, first of all, every institution must have water, because we need water there easier for the people who are using the toilets to wash their hands. Apart from that, if funds institutions need healthcare facilities, markets, bus stations, and other public places.
Speaking at the same event, National Water Supply and Sanitation Council, NWASCO Chief Inspector Peter Mutale says business innovations around fecal matter have been created by collecting and turning it into charcoal and gas. And Lusaka Water and Sanitation Company Urban Period Manager Yvonne Sieni has attributed the sanitation challenges in the city to lack of investment in the sector.
So for us, our realization was we cannot provide to
We take a short break. We'll be back. Stay tuned.
This is www.moneyfmzambia.com to watch, stream, and download various programs from anywhere in the world. For business on the go, visit www.moneyfmzambia.com to watch, stream, and download various programs from anywhere in the world.
Minister of Green Economy and Environment Action on the Green Growth Compact coming from the 2021 United Nations Conference of the Parties COP26 in Glasgow. Speaking during a discussion on enabling a just energy transition in Africa through partnership at the Great Britain Pavilion at COP27 in Egypt, Collins Nzovu, however, notes that there have been difficulties in accessing financing for the compact according to latest financing reports. Mr. Nzovu says lack of access to financing leaves everybody behind in least developed countries. He has reiterated that COP26 was for pledges, but for COP27, African group of negotiators want to see actionable items as it is an implementation COP.
And I'm also glad, Minister, for you to know that the Green Growth Compact coming from COP26 was a very, very welcome move. We really say as we come together to manage the challenge of the time. One issue which came out very, very clearly from the was the flaws, the difficulties in accessing this finance. Whilst the Green Growth Compact is a very, very brilliant idea, there's been very little traction on it. So we need to see action. Indeed, COP26 was what we made a lot of pledges to the compact. It's an implementation. We want to see action, actionable items. There's also
The Green Growth Compact is a landmark agreement expected to benefit the United Kingdom and Zambia by boosting UK investment in Zambia by up to £1 billion, creating thousands of jobs and supporting green energy production. This is Money Evening News at 17:30. Board of Directors of the African Development Fund, the concessional lending arm of the African Development Bank Group, has approved a $6.63 million United States dollar grant to the Common Market for Eastern and Southern Africa, COMESA, to develop the pharmaceutical sector in the sub-region. In a statement, the bank says the project to be implemented over a period of 3 years from 2023 to 2025 will directly benefit public institutions responsible for the pharmaceutical industry's development, such as national drug regulatory authorities, quality control laboratories, and regional pharmacy training providers, universities, and research centers. Bank's Director General for Southern Africa, Leila Mokadem, says the aim is to empower the institutions to support the pharmaceutical sector so that they can produce essential medicines locally for the needs of population, especially and children. According to the bank, the project will support the sub-regional body in implementing continental strategies on pharmaceutical manufacturing and assist it in streamlining and harmonizing drug registration processes, as well as ensuring access to essential medical products and technologies. Lusaka City Council says an operation conducted by its city planning, engineering, and administration departments at Airport Roundabout identified about 3,000 illegal billboards without the planning permission. In a statement, the council's public relations unit says the operation was conducted to bring down illegal billboards that were raised up on the sides of the road and the island. It states that the Department of City Planning informed all its agents that registered with the council to follow the planning conditions as they erect the billboards, and the information was communicated 4 months prior to this exercise of bringing down the billboards. The council has since advised all those that made payments for the billboards to follow the given guidelines to avoid having their billboards pulled down. Still to come is international and sports news. Stay tuned.
Money International News. Money International News.
Welcome back. You are still listening to Money Evening News, and now international news. Air Peace Airline has announced suspension of its Dubai operations indefinitely over inability of Nigerians to get visa to the country. In a press statement by Air Peace management and a copy made available to leadership, the airline said the operation will be suspended from Tuesday, 22nd November 2022. Leadership recalls that the United Arab Emirates, UAE, had in October 2022 issued a notice to its trade partners in Nigeria, including travel agents, over visa ban on Nigerians. It had read all Dubai applications submitted are now rejected, and all the rejections will be sent in batches. According to leadership, the rejections are general for Nigerians and approvals are on hold at the moment. There will no refund for rejected applications. For more such stories, join us for Africa Business Report at 0845 weekdays. Japanese economy has unexpectedly shrunk in the third quarter as private consumption slumped and import costs rose. Al Jazeera reports that Asia's second largest economy contracted 0.3% during July-September, official data show, after 3 consecutive quarters of growth. The worse than expected performance translates into an annualized contraction of 1.2%. For more of such stories, join us for Global Business Report at 17:50 weekdays. This is the Money Evening News at 17:30.
Money Sports News. Money Sports News.
In sports news, Zambia senior women's national team will wrap up their tour of Colombia with a second international friendly against the host to be played at midnight. The Copa Queens suffered 1-0 defeat in their first ever meeting with Colombia in Cali on Saturday. FAS Media reports that the mood was high in training with coach Bruce Mwape, emphasizing to the players on the need to go out and fight at the Pasco Guerrero Stadium. Both Zambia and Colombia are using the match to prepare for the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup to be co-hosted by Australia and New Zealand. Meanwhile, a soccer analyst, Comfort Chilombo, has urged Copa Queen coach Bruce Mwape to make use of the available substitutions in the final friendly match between the two countries. Chilombo notes that Mwape did not make use of the substitutions, thereby missing an opportunity to gauge the performance levels of other members of the squad. She has cautioned the team against conceding early in today's match.
A coach needs to have confidence in all the players. That's a friendly. And imagine a coach makes only one sub in a friendly. You don't do that in a friendly. That's where you just like to test a lot of players. How are we going to assess the other players? So the coach needs to have control players. I think there was even fatigue with the Green Buffaloes players. The players needed to be rested, especially the Buffalo players. They were participating in a match apart from that they were so I think today it's either we score an early goal or we avoid an early goal. Fence, I think even in the wings, the mid was very poor.
Virgin Atlantic says its gender uniform policy does not apply to the crew on board the England team's flight to the World Cup in Qatar. The BBC reports that the airline announced a fluid approach to uniforms in September that it said allowed the staff to choose their attire no matter their gender. There are harsh criticism of human rights in Qatar and its treatment of LGBT people ahead of the World Cup. Qatar has said all fans will be welcomed to the tournament without discrimination. As we end this, we look at the headlines once again. The news headlines. Transport Minister disclosed that rehabilitation of Samora Machel Airport has stalled due to outstanding balance of over 15 million kwacha.
Airport in Impala stalled as a result of an outstanding balance amounting to 15,232,231.18 were.
Green Economy and Environment Minister calls for action on the Green Growth Compact.
The Green Growth Compact is a very brilliant idea. There's been very little traction on it. So we need to see action. Indeed, COP26 was
Nigeria Air Peace suspects into Dubai over visa ban. Zambia takes on Colombia in final back-to-back friendly matches. For these stories and more, be sure to visit our website on www.moneyfmzambia.com. Follow us on Facebook, Money FM Zambia, on Twitter and Instagram, Money FM Zambia. You can also download our Money FM app from App Store and Google Play Store. And for marketing, contact us on +26096786540 or 0211252237. Thank you for listening to Money Evening News. I am Best Jerry. Good evening. This is Money FM.
Money Evening News. Money Evening News. Global Business Report. Get global, go global now on Global Business on Money FM, your business radio.
Oil falls on Chinese demand concerns. Chancellor Jeremy Hunt expected to announce rise in national living wage. Japan's economy unexpectedly shrinks as consumption slows.
Global Business Report. Get global, go global now on Global Business on Money FM, your business radio.
It is 17:55 Central African time, and a warm welcome to Global Business Report, Tuesday edition with me, Best Jerry. Oil prices have fallen as rising COVID-19 cases in China renewed fears of lower fuel consumption from the world's top crude importer. CNBC reports Brent crude futures 0% to $92.67 a barrel after settling 3% lower on Monday. United States West Texas Intermediate crude fell by 55% or 0.6% to $85.32 after tumbling 3.5% in the previous session. According to CNBC, investors cheered China's announcements last week that it would lessen the impact of a strict zero COVID policy to spur economic activity and energy demand. But analysts said lockdowns and surging case numbers continue to be a key downside risk. United Kingdom Chancellor Jeremy Hunt will announce a rise in the national living wage this week, Sky News understands. Mr. Hunt and Prime Minister Rishi Sunak will accept an official recommendation to increase the living wage from £9.50 an hour to about £10.40 an hour, according to news first reported in the Times. The rise of nearly 10% would benefit around 2.5 million people, the newspaper said. We take a break. We'll be back shortly. Stay tuned.
Business Radio. Global Business Report. Get global, go global now on Global Business on Money FM, your business radio.
Welcome back. United States and European startups are racing to develop new batteries using two abundant cheap materials, sodium and sulfur, that could reduce China's battery dominance, evening supply both and lead to mass market electric vehicles, EVs. Reuters reports that today's EVs run on lithium-ion batteries, manganese, and high-grade nickel, whose prices have soared. Where producers are struggling to catch up with the Asian rivals, and car makers expect supply bottlenecks to hit car production around the middle of the decade. Japan's economy has unexpectedly shrunk in the third quarter as private consumption slumped and import costs rose. Asia's second largest economy contracted 0.3% during July-September, data show active quarters of growth. Al Jazeera reports the 1.5% that dollar economy rose 0.3%, well below the previous quarter's 1.2% again. Thank you so much for joining us. Be sure to join us on Wednesday for another Global Business Report. This has been Best Jerry. Stay tuned.
Global Business Report. Get global, go global now on Global Business on Money and Fame, your business radio.
Next time, University feed Aquarite purified water. Supplies of 18.9 liters, 750 mils, 500 mils, 10 liters, 5 liters.
Thank you
and
so
2
much
liters
all
purified
for
water.
listening
We
to the
also
Money
supply
Evening
water
News
dispensers.
on our
Your
Facebook. Our
efforts
Facebook
serve
friends,
you
thank you,
better.
thank
We
you.
repair and
YouTube,
service water
thank you. So you
dispensers.
may also check on
Deliveries are
YouTube, we share the headlines there. And you may also check on
You
Facebook.
can access our
Don't forget to
purified water
subscribe,
from
like,
all
and
leading
leave comments. May God
retail
bless you.
outlets, members at
So
all
we end the
Aquarite
broadcast on
depots or
YouTube.
containers. Get in touch
Yeah.
with